Greetings and salutations, friends of Goochland. Well, here we are. The landowners are grinning, the builders are sharpening their shovels, and Goochland's reputation for community and integrity is falling downhill. CB Robertson III has to be rolling in his grave. The vision he had is shattered. Parks, walking areas, quiet office buildings, caring about nature. None of that's going to happen. Our Board of Supervisors and the Economic Development Authority abandoned that vision, as did the landowners too, the landowners that bought the land. If you don't know who CB Robertson was, CB Robertson III, please check my last video. I think the last 3 years here in Goochland, the data center part, the part that we don't know about, has been scripted, entirely scripted, from a conference room or a set of offices in Denver, Colorado. Here's a screenshot of the building that Tract moved into in 2024, just a few months after they signed an agreement with Goochland's Economic Development Authority. An agreement, you say? Well, who signed that agreement? Who gave them permission to sign the agreement? I want to show you the non-disclosure agreement. As you can see, all the information is redacted. So there's no real data here at all. When it was signed, it was the beginning of what will be a deliberate, negligent, premeditated harm to the citizens. Physical harm, emotional harm, and financial harm. So, who was it? Who put us in harm's way? Well, there is some speculation, I'm speculating, but there's some very strong circumstantial evidence that I'm going to show you that give you an idea of who signed it. I got a copy of the non-disclosure agreement through a friend who got it through a FOIA. The chairman of the EDA probably is the one that signed it on behalf of Goochland. That's what the signature block says, but there's no signature for it. Here's a clip of the chairman of the EDA who told the Board of Supervisors on April 14th, who told them without presenting any evidence, that Virginia would be in a recession were it not for data centers, would be in a recession. He's the signer, probably the signer of the NDA on Goochland's behalf.
If we did not have data center development over the last 3 years, Virginia would be in a recession right now.
The Tract signator, probably, although I'm not sure, was probably Jessica Bennett. Here's a screenshot of her. Her name is embedded in the NDA, and she's the chief legal officer, legal counsel for Tract Corporation, so I imagine that she signed it. All of that happened on November 3rd. It was very quick, very quick. Remember that date. That's important. November 3rd, 2023. The public found out about the Technology Overlay District in July of 2025. So when the Board of Supervisors released information about the TOD, the board and the EDA had been working on this for almost 2 years. Where do you suppose the board got all its information on data centers. They didn't bring independent experts in. They got it from tract. And we, the citizens who are sitting out here as targets, we had from July through November to prepare. Just, what's the month? July, August, September, October. 4 months. We had 4 months to prepare versus the 20 months that the county and tract had to prepare. Who else knew? Who else knew? The landowners? Well, they probably shouldn't have known. I mean, everybody knows they want to sell their land and make money. That's what gives them joy, is making money. So that's what they want to do. It's not a social program for them. But I'm not sure if the NDA would allow that. So I have to look again for circumstantial evidence, and I found something that may not be pertinent or relevant, but it's noteworthy. The developer of the neighborhood that I live in is Markel Eagle, one of the large property owners in West Creek. They own a lot of property. President of Eagle, the Eagle part of Eagle Markel, is named Josh Goldschmidt. He built a house here. He was a neighbor. He built a wonderful house right next to the woods. But of course, the woods are M1 zoning for data centers. Abruptly, without notice, he sold his house very quickly, within a matter of days. They closed on the sale on November 3rd, 2023. I swear this could be a Netflix documentary. They'd come in, get their investigative reporters in here and start talking to people. I'm sure they'd find out all sorts of stuff. I can't imagine what the behind the door transactions are. Probably still taking place. So what can you do? Who should care? I think everyone in the county should care. This isn't an East End issue. This is a Goochland issue. Folks, I know that there's folks out there who don't believe that data centers will harm Goochland County. I call them the don't look uppers. They're not going to pay attention to the pending pollution, heat, water. I think the majority of people, though, just don't know yet about the dangers of data centers and what it can do to water tables, aquifers. It's unbelievable. I know that Loudoun County talks a lot about the data center revenue that they've gotten. They've built new schools, libraries, parks, and more, and they're happy about that. But they also admit that they hurt people. They hurt people because they didn't know what harm data centers caused. And they put data centers close to where people lived. Goochland is not a wide county. It's not very tall north to south. So when they start putting data centers in along 64, and they will, and down in where the prison is next to the James, and they will, and here just south of Reader's Branch, they will, there will be data centers all over this county. People here in Reader's Branch took a short breath of relief because the current permit application is not for the M1 zoning right next to us. It's down by Mosaic. But I guarantee you that the landowners south of us are going to treat this as permission to come in without any kind of fanfare. So they'll be next. Could be soon. What can you do? Lots of things. First, write your supervisor. I know, I write mine, doesn't do any good, but I'm gonna write him anyway. Second, write your planning commissioner. Planning commissioners should be involved in this. They should know. I know that some of them have voted no on things and then had the Board of Supervisors overturn what they say. Again, Netflix. But write your supervisor, write your planning commissioner. There's going to be some important hearings. Some of the zoning changes are going to require conditional use permits, and that's when we can go talk to them. Now, based on their history, I know they've already written their speeches why they're going to accept whatever cups are requested. But we still got to go talk to them. You never know. The Grinch grew a heart. Maybe the supervisors will too. There's one other thing that you can do. It's not going to help in the short term, but it might in the long term for the rest of the county. I think there's a chance we're doomed here in the east. But if you want to save yourself in the center and western part of the county, you can start to participate in the government and appreciate that this is a county issue. And how do you do that? You run for office. Or you look for somebody to run for office. Or you help somebody run for office. And one way to do that is to understand what the processes are. Linda Moore, a longtime resident and believer in the Goochland way of life, and some other folks have arranged for a meeting to exchange information about how to run for office in Goochland County. And some of the county officials are going to come out and provide information. There'll be handouts, there'll be presentations and talks. This is not a recruiting session, this is an informational thing where you can come out and learn what the process is. And it doesn't mean you have to run for office. It means that if somebody you know runs for office, you can help them with some of the wickets, finding the information. The meeting's going to be at the Goochland Library on June 22nd at noon. Should take about 2 hours max. There'll be, like I said, there'll be handouts. There'll be people talking. They've asked some folks from the county to come out and talk about the rules and processes, and I think that's important. Well, thanks for watching. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue. Maybe I'll take a break. I don't know. Maybe I'll call Netflix, see if they're interested. Stay tuned.